Let's begin what's trending. A former governor of Edo State and senator representing Edo North, Adams Oshimole, is in the news for disrupting the flight operations of Air Peace. On Tuesday, the senator was said to have arrived late for his 6:30 a.m. flight from Lagos to Abuja. According to Air Peace and eyewitnesses, Oshimole became unruly after being informed that boarding had closed and that the flight had departed on time. The senator was asked to rebook his flight and to pay the applicable fees, but refused. According to the airline, Oshimole physically assaulted staff, climbed the conveyor belt, and ordered his security team to block the entrance of the Zulu terminal at the General Aviation Terminal of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport. Air Peace stated that his actions prevented other passengers from entering and caused significant disruption to airport operations. Oshimole, in his account, claimed that he arrived at the airport at about 6:05 a.m. and was denied boarding, despite having checked in online. He accused Air Peace of deliberately denying passengers who had booked online at lower rates in order to resell tickets at inflated prices to others on the spot. He claimed to have witnessed Air Peace staff selling tickets for the same flight at significantly higher prices, while other passengers were also being denied boarding.
What they're actually doing at Air Peace is that because those who bought tickets online, these people paid 146,000 at the time they bought. Those who are buying today, emergency this thing, they are paid as much as 250,000. So they frustrate those who paid online at the rate quoted by them and give priority to those who have no previous reservation, who are ready to pay double the price. I go to the airport, I have my checking in, they deny me. Then when somebody now went, he says, it's Oshimole. Then the senior manager came out. I said, okay, let's see how I can sort you out. I said, no. I don't want personal favor. I want my right and the right of these Nigerians to be enforced.
All right, we've seen this video. It's gone, the video of Adams Oshimole on the conveyor belt appearing to disrupt the Air Peace operations. The video went viral, with many condemning the situation. But let me take Air Peace's rebuttal. They did release a statement after that press conference by Adams Oshimole. Air Peace wrote, "Our attention has been drawn to the deliberate falsehood being peddled by Senator Adams Oshimole against Air Peace. The senator lied blatantly when he accused Air Peace of extorting its passengers. We challenged Senator Oshimole to bring one evidence of a passenger that was extorted. None of our staff ever extorted any passenger. In fact, no ticket was sold after the closure of check-in on that flight. Everyone who flew bought their ticket prior to the flight closure. Again, our flight was never overbooked, as some of his videos alleged. In fact, the aircraft took off with over 30 empty seats. It would have been in our interest to carry Oshimole and those others who missed their flights for lateness on this flight instead of flying many empty seats. But we will never sacrifice our strict on-time performance for monetary gains. It's absolutely false that he was offered preferential treatment and that he was fighting for others. Senator Oshimole was not fighting for anyone. He came to the airport late and was told that he was late. He then began to foment trouble. He jumped on the baggage conveyor belt, preventing the check-in process of other flights. He also barricaded the entrance gate and prevented access to the terminal. While he was doing all these, he also deliberately instigated other passengers against the airline. We call on the Federal Airport Authority, FAN, to release the CCTV coverage, starting from the time Senator Oshimole entered the airport, for Nigerians to see. His accusation of extortion is very defamatory. His conduct was very violent, unbecoming, unfortunate, and above all, shameful. Vimbai, while I was reading the statement, I did see you, shaking your head. Your thoughts on the story? I have presented both sides.
Yeah, this is a tricky story, yes, in my opinion. Where do I begin? Okay, let's begin with Senator Adams Oshimole. That even if he had been ill-treated, if he felt the situation was unfair, his behavior was rascality. You can't address these types of situations, even when you feel there is injustice. Sometimes they say your response to a mistake can be a mistake as well. So I think that, we've seen the video evidence. He was standing on the conveyor belt. He blocked the entrance to the airport and so forth. And we just can't allow that level of breakdown in law and order, especially not from a lawmaker. So I think that he may have been frustrated, but he expressed his frustration in an unfortunate way. That's number one. Number two, he's saying that on his part, he checked in online, he came, and he had no luggage, so he arrived on time, and so forth and so forth. And Airpeace is saying, well, he didn't check in online, he came late. That's a he said, she said. I hope they can bring out, if he checked in online, he should be able to show us the evidence of him having done so. So that's from the airline's standpoint. If he was late, then he can't be boarded. However, the bigger issue at play here is the frustration that has built up in Nigerian aviation, domestic travel. This is a buildup of events. This isn't just a moment. You see videos every day, not necessarily pertaining to Airpeace or any airline, generally, almost on a daily basis. You see videos of people fighting at the airport, fighting with the officials, dragging collars. It is totally uncalled for. Minister Festus Keyamo has made great efforts to try and sanitize domestic travel, but I think there's still a lot of work to be done, and a lot of the work comes down to just the people sitting at the counters. It's not at that higher level. It's at that counter. How do we manage these situations? How do we manage the frustrations? Even when a passenger is wrong, the customer is always right. How do we manage them? We see videos where sometimes there's so much insensitivity, there's a lack of just consideration when some of these ground staff deal with their passengers. I'm not saying that's the case in this incident, but I'm saying that this is a reflection of the bigger systemic problem that we have in Nigerian aviation that needs to be addressed. Senator Oshimole, even if you feel wronged, I don't think that this is the way to handle situations where we feel that there's injustice that has been done towards us.
Yes, and Vimba, a lot of people will agree with you because we did see some of those comments buttressing your points there.
Okay, two principles apply here. Edward Coke, it was, who said in the 17th century that Nemo Judas in Cosa Sua, let no man be a judge in his own case. So when there are two parties to a dispute, it will be wrong to take one side against the other. Two, in the Union of Indian case and in the Akinwani case, it was also established that all the alteram patem, in other words, what it says, the principle of natural justice is that you must hear both sides. You have presented both sides of the issue.
Yes.
Comrade Adams Oshimole, on one hand, saying, oh, he had booked a flight, he couldn't board the following day, he spent 1.5 million to stay in hotel with his entourage. He came the following day very early, 30 minutes before time. He was told it was now 45 minutes before time and all of that. And then he could still not travel. And he said he was defending the interest of other people, extortionist allegations and all that. And then Airpeace, telling their own side of the story, because we must listen to both sides, said that he arrived late. Mm-hmm. And it is the truth, we know, that they closed the counter, whether it's 30 minutes before or 45 minutes, and you cannot use your position as an influential person to take over operations. Now, having stated broadly those two sides, we can now see it is not for them to take a decision. It is for us, as to use President Tinubu's expression, bystanders, yes, as busybodies, this not being a court of law, to say that the common sense that tells us is that one, Senator Adams Oshimole, whatever his status, has no right to lock up the airport. That was a breach of national security. And I hope that the relevant authorities will look into this. Yeah. Two, he is making other claims. Airpeace is saying that the NCAA, the FAAN, should provide, if they have, CCTV evidence of the time Senator Oshimole arrived and what transpired. In fact, I'm interested in that. We should be interested in that.
Yes.
To even know whether they have CCTV in this our airport.
No, I reached out to FAN as well.
Well, do they have CCTV?
I think they do.
Because they may claim they have, and they may not have. This is an opportunity for us to know the truth.
Absolutely.
3, Airpeace is saying that Senator Oshimole arrived late.
Yes.
That part of it should also be investigated. There must be a relevant authority who can investigate that. 4, they are claiming that Senator Oshimole defamed Airpeace by saying that there was a case of extortion. If defamation is involved, Airpeace has every right to go to court. Finally, whatever is found, let us reiterate the point that Senator Oshimole is no longer Labour leader. So we know he has antecedents as the People's President, Labour President, but now he's a senator of the Federal Republic. Yes. He's an elder statesman.
Yes.
Whatever the provocation may have been, my personal opinion now, I do not think that the senator should have caused that drama. The least he could have done, he could have called the chairman of Airpeace to protest, to ask for recourse to, other considerations. He could even have called the chairman of FAN. He could have called the minister of aviation. But to now go and lock up the airport to disrupt operations, I think that was carrying a sense of entitlement too far.
Right.
I don't think we have had the last of this matter. No. I have not declared anybody guilty. I've just stated the principles of natural justice.
All right.
Audi aterem patem, and also nemo judes incosasua.
Right.
If we stay within that boundary, I think further developments will give us clarity.
Well said. We'll follow up on the story